Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to start a fresh subject, risk management, for second semester students of MCOM PNU. So let's have a look about the syllabus of this subject. So totally we have 6 modules. So module number 1 is all about the basic information relating to risk. So, what is risk? What is uncertainty? What are the types of risk? What are the types of risk? Sources of risk? So, externally, internally, where the organization is expecting the risk management, and what is the nature, how we can analyze the risk, planning, controlling, transfer of risk, and all about the process of risk management, that is risk identification, risk avoidance, risk retention, and risk transfer. Next we have some of the implementation techniques to avoid the risk. Last, in the first module we have about the perils, its clauses, and what are the risk covers available, that is the risk insurance available for avoiding the risk. So in the first module we have the basic information relating to risk, uncertainty, perils, and process of risk management. Next, module number 2 is all about this risk management. It is the smallest chapter, so it covers meaning of risk management, again types of risk, evolution of risk, that is the history of the risk, steps in risk management, and lastly we have RBI guidelines. Module number 3 we have about credit risk management. So credit risk management, it is about the loans we have taken from the banks, from the financial institutions, or from the debtors. So from the financial terms of view, so what are the risks will arise, that is called as credit risk management. So here we have some of the theories. The popular theory is Markowitz portfolio selection theory. So portfolio means, you all know, it is a basket of investments. So how to select the investments, so it is a very beautiful theory explained by Markowitz, and a very important theory also. Next we have what are the functionality of good credit. We have risk management models, we have credit risk pricing model, capital and regulation, risk management of credit derivatives. So module number 3 is a bit lengthy, as well as module number 4 is also lengthy. So module number 4 is about market risk. So see here in the third chapter we are going to discuss about financial risk, that is the credit risk management. Module number 4 we are going to discuss the market risk. So it includes asset liability management, yield curve risk factor. So it includes value at risk, implementation of VAR system, additional risk in fixed income markets, and it also includes stress testing and bank testing. So it all includes is market risk. So in the market, in the buying and the selling process, either it is the increase in the demand, decrease in the demand, increase of the prices, decrease of the prices, arises of the competitors. So how to face these kinds of risk, will those all the aspects will come in module number 4, that is market risk. Module number 5 is operational risk. So operational risk means manufacturing. So in manufacturing process, what are the risk arises? So operational risk, in this all about the manufacturing process risk, that is called as operational risk. Here we have introduction, we have meaning of operational risk, how to measure operational risk, who can manage operational risk, what are the keys to implement operational risk management. So why we should invest in operational risk management, all those will come in module number 5. last chapter is a very small chapter, and it is about derivatives. It is about future, options, swaps, and ECGS. So this is the syllabus of risk management. We have 6 module. Module number 1 is about risk and uncertainty. Module number 2 is about risk management. Module number 3 is about credit risk management. Module number 4 is market risk. Module number 5 is operational risk management, and the last module, module number 6, is tools for risk management, that is derivatives, swaps, options, futures, etc. So let's start this first module. So first chapter is about risk. So let's discuss what is this risk. So from PUC we are studying, we are listening, we are reading one sentence that there is no business without risk. So without risk there is no business. So here risk is defined in financial terms. If you want to see in financial terms, it is a chance that an outcome or investment actual gains will differ from expected outcome. Simple is, you have invested some amount, okay, you have invested 10,000. So now your expected return on this is, you are expecting 10% return. 10% you are expecting return. So 10,000 into 10%, it is 1,000. So each investment, on each investment you are expecting 1,000 rupees profit. So 10% is the expected outcome you are expecting. But in reverse, what happens is, you are getting only 9% return. So 1% is loss to you. So what is risk means, whatever you are expecting, that will not be actual, that will not meet to the actual gains. So you are expecting 10% return, but in actual, when time comes, the return you are getting is only 9%. So that is called as risk. Risk is a chance. So risk is not exactly this will happen, it is a chance, might be or might not be. So it is an outcome of an investment's actual gain, where the expected outcome will differ from the actual outcome. So risk includes the possibility of losing some or all of an original investment. So it is a chance that you may lose some part of the investment, or you may lose the whole investment also. So here you may face a loss of 1%, that is, you are expecting 10%, you got 9%. So here some of the investment can be a loss to you, but if you are getting no return, then their whole investment is in risk. So risk is a chance where the expected outcome will not be same as the actual outcome. There will be a difference between an expected outcome and the actual outcome. So here expected outcome was 10% and actual outcome was 9%. So difference is 1%. So 1% is the risk or chance of risk. So this is in case of some investment. So if we are talking about the whole investment, there will be no returns and whole invested amount will be in risk. So that is called as risk. So uncertainty. So risk and uncertainty are the kinds of words which are used interchangeably, right? So we don't know the difference between the risk and uncertainty. So uncertainty is a thing. It is a situation where a possible outcome or probability of outcome is unknown. Risk means we know, we can predict the risk, but uncertainty we cannot predict. It is unknown. We cannot predict, but risk we can predict, but uncertainty we cannot predict. In other words, it is a situation where future events are not known. For example, earthquakes, any natural calamities. So these are the kinds of things which are not known to human beings. But risk means, in terms of finance, if we think risk, loss of investment, if we study the market trends, if we follow the future, if we follow the historical events, we can easily predict that if the things are going in this way, our investment might be in a loss, or we might not get the expected returns. But uncertainty is a thing where the events are unknown. Future events we cannot predict. It is not in the hands of human beings. That is called as uncertainty. The best example are all the kinds of natural calamities, earthquakes, all those kinds of things which is done by God, right? So which is not known by human beings. So that is called as uncertainty. So let's difference between this risk and uncertainty. So risk, first point, possibility of losing or winning something is known, right? So risk, we can predict it, we can actually know this type, know those things, future events we can predict, so we know those things. But uncertainty is a situation where future event is not known, because it is not in hands of human beings. Chances of outcome are known, right? So chances of outcomes, expected or actual, may be predicted. We may have an idea, but chances of outcome, if earthquake comes, what percentage of loss will happen to this world, cannot be predicted. It might be a small earthquake, it might be a very big earthquake which can bring a loss to human life also, human places also, can damage our homes also, it can take many lives also. We don't know what are the outcomes, what are the results exactly, right? We don't know the natural calamities outcome. It can be a mere earthquake, or it can be a very dangerous earthquake also. We don't know what percentage of damage will happen to our lives, our homes, our loved ones, right? So we don't know the chances of outcomes. So that is called as uncertainty. Risk can be controllable. So we can control risk, but we cannot control uncertainty. Can we control earthquake? So if earthquake comes, can we control it? No, we cannot control it. Any kind of natural calamities, we cannot control. It is not in our hands. But risk we can control. We can use some of the models or techniques which we are going to study in the risk management chapter, that is model number 2, where we can control those types of risk. So that is a difference between risk and uncertainty. Risk can be known, uncertainty cannot be known. It can be predict, it cannot be predict. Chances of risk are known, chances of uncertainty are not known. And risk can be controllable, uncertainty cannot be controllable. Next topic we have is peril. So peril is also a loss. So peril is a cause of loss. So if we are facing some of the loss, either to our health or to our properties or to our money, so what are the cause for it? That is called as peril. Cause for the loss, that is called as peril. Peril is a possibility of cause that exposes a person or a property to the risk of injury or damage of loss. So for damage to be happen, to risk to be happen or an injury to be happen to a person, behind every event there will be a cause, right? So that is a called as peril. So let's discuss these types of perils, you will get an idea. First is natural peril. So natural peril are those perils on which people have little control. So natural peril, people have a very little control. Best example, earthquakes, rain, and all kinds of natural calamities. So where we don't have full control, we can a little bit control, that is from the so weather forecasting or monsoon forecasting. From that thing we can prepare well before these kinds of natural calamities happens. Next is human perils. Human perils includes causes of loss that lie within people control, like terrorism, like war, like theft, like environmental pollution. So environmental pollution is in our hands, right? We can reduce the pollution, every kind of pollution, either air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution. If we are taking precautions, we can reduce it. Theft, if we have a good morals, we can reduce the theft also. Terrorism, if we have humanity, we can reduce it. So human perils are the losses that lie within the people. So if you don't have humanity, terrorism will happen. If you don't have morals, theft will happen. If you don't have cooperation, the wars will happen. If you don't have a belongingness to our earth, the pollution will happen. Next is economic peril. So economic peril causes loss due to changes in economy, like changes in customer taste, preferences, technological advances, currency fluctuations. So economic perils, changes in taste and preferences of the customers, changes in the technological advancement, and currency fluctuations. So these are the things which are attached to the market. So we have types of perils. As the causes for the loss are three types. One is natural, second is human, and the third one is economic. So this is all about today's class. So in the next class we are going to continue the chapter. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comments below or in your WhatsApp group. Thanks for watching, and if you like my video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.